experience was like.
Yeah, my IndyCar race experience, I got to go to the Baltimore Grand Prix. I'm not even sure how many laps they did, but I got to ride in a 2-seat IndyCar, and that was pretty sick for sure. You got to like feel the course out and see how actually narrow it is, and get a feel for how fast they go compared to how fast we go, which is by far a lot faster. And it was really cool to see how many like G's you pull in the corner just by turning in. You know, you're like leaning against the outside. And all in all, it was a good experience. Got to watch the race. We stood right in the first turn, so that's where all the crashes were. So we got to see most of the race, but it was good. It was for sure one of the funnest times I've ever had.
And he had some fun earlier in the year when he got a couple of wins. And I think at the halfway point, a lot of people thought Blake Baggett was the favorite for the championship. Dean Wilson definitely turned it around. Once Wilson went down to Florida and hung out with Chad Reed, he really upped his game, and we haven't quite seen the same edge, meanwhile, from Baggett over the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, well, there was a combination there. As Dean got it together, Baggett seemed to have a lot of misfortune. Just seemed like his starts were off. He wasn't putting himself in the right position. I mean, we wouldn't see him till the end of the motos. You know, this points race actually is fairly tight here for second and third between Baggett and Rattray.
Yeah, he's only 3 points down as they run right now. Rattray is in 5th. Baggett is 3rd in this race. Baggett could make up 2 points if he can catch Bogle, but he's still 6 seconds behind Bogle. I don't know if Baggett's going to get to do it. And Jeff, you know, there's a difference in bonus money, I'm sure, between 2nd and 3rd in the championship. So that's a lot on the line between those two.
Definitely could be a little bit of pride involved. You know, I wouldn't say bragging rights, but more pride at that point. But Rattray still hammering away.
Yeah, they've got the 125 of Muscown in between them. There is Rattray. Rattray shopping for a ride. He wants to race the 450 class next year outdoors, but he's relatively new to Supercross racing, so he wants to race a 250 in the lights class in Supercross and then race a big bike outdoors. There aren't many teams that run a program like that. Usually you race either a 250 all year or a 450 all year, but Rattray, solid season this year. I've heard there's quite a bit of interest, whatever class he wants to ride. There's a couple teams that would like to get him. He's definitely a proven winner and champion as well. But the champion this year is Dean Wilson. What a way to cap this off.
Took a look over his left shoulder. Just wants to see exactly where Bogle is at, because you know Dino here, he can have a little fun on this last lap over that big Lucas Oil tabletop and that double coming back towards the finish. I guarantee we're going to see the drain plug more than once.
Well, I want to touch on that. Last week, after he won the title, I said to Dean, you know, what's the difference? He's stepped up since he became a pro. He was really good as an amateur, but he's been great as a pro. A lot of times, you know, the guys say you got to put in the hard work, or it's the dedication, you know, not getting distracted with all the elements outside. What's funny, he said the opposite. He said what he had to learn was don't overdo it. A lot of riders turn pro and think, well, now I need to ride 3 40-minute motos every day. He feels the more fun he has, the more he is backed down, the better he has gotten.
There you go. Oh, that was hot.
Well, think he's having fun?
Yeah, he's having fun, and you find, you know, I think most of the riders, I mean, for the most part, the riders that are coming through are conditioned for the hard work. I think that we're kind of past that laziness mode that certain riders had. Okay, so they all know that there's some hard work to do, but you get into an overtraining situation, and that actually works in a negative effect too. But he has found the right formula for him, and he knows what works. And I'm going to tell you, he's going to whip it off this big double right here. This thing's wide open on your 250.
There you go. Look at that.
That was hot. That was awesome.
Oh, well said. I didn't even know he had that in the bag of tricks, and all of a sudden at Unadilla he started throwing out these whips, and he started winning races, and he started having more fun, and he started winning even more, and then he won the championship, and now he's going to sweep both motos last week in Pennsylvania and sweep both motos here. This guy is building a full head of steam, not just toward the end of this championship, but setting a tone for the next couple. You want to win in the 250 class, you're going to have to go through the 15 of Dean Wilson, who will wear the #1 next year. He's your champion and your winner. Dean Wilson sweeps it here at Pala. And Justin Bogle throwing out a old school heel clicker over the finish line jump. He charged hard all the way to the end because he did not want Baggett to get him for second, and he gets the job done. Baggett is going to finish third. Here comes Rattray. He's got his teammate Brock Tickle right behind him. Marvin Musquion, Marvin Attack is going to take 4th. Rattray 5th. 6th going to go to Tickle, and I believe that will be enough for Rattray to just barely hold off Baggett for 2nd in the series standings.
Yeah, and it looks like Kyle Cunningham on the Yamaha dropped back to 8th. Tomac on the last lap was still running 12th, so might put the Honda rider, Tomac, up into 4th overall for the championship.
Yeah, that's one of those rides that will go almost unnoticed. Tomac with a 12th, but he had to dig that one out. So good run by Tomac down the stretch. Of course, great run for Wilson, who takes the win. Bogle, he's got to be just as happy finishing 2nd. Not bad for a new kid. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Pala Raceway is the host site of the final round of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. You're watching 2 straight hours of live coverage on Speed, our 450 title showdown coming up right after this. Wednesday night, car show is all new as Adam and the boys take a crash course in stunt driving. And then Dan goes old school as he gets behind the wheel of a legendary vintage racer. Don't miss the car show Wednesday nights, 10 Eastern only on Speed. So our final 250 moto is complete. Let's give you the Lucas Oil race recap in that one and show you how Dean Wilson emerged with the win. Seems like the start here has been crazy. It's like guys battling off the line of scrimmage here, bumping and banging around. The 66 of Jimmy Dakotas is going to get the whole shot, and he had his teammate 891, Justin Bogle, right behind him. Watch this on the first lap, big crash. 71 of Ryan Morris is down, as well as Tyler Schoberg, who runs into his bike. Ouch. Meanwhile, Bogle would take the lead from Dakotas and would hold it to the 25-minute mark of this moto, and finally Wilson would find an inside line to take the lead from the rookie. These guys are pretty good friends on and off the track, so no trouble there at racing together. They even congratulate each other on finishing 1st and 2nd. We'll show you the results. 3rd went to Baggett. Bogle really had to hustle down the stretch as Baggett was charging hard to try to get him. Came up just a few seconds short. Musquion ends up in 4th. Frenchman, Rattray in 5th. Tickle, Swanepoel, Cunningham, Anderson, and Martin round out your top 10. Let's send it down to Aaron Bates.
Dean Wilson undefeated here at Pala. Dean, you came in, it was all for pride. You had that championship all wrapped up, but your family was back there, very emotional. Did this win, was it for them today?
Oh, it was for sure for them. You know, first of all, I was pushing hard to get that win, and then that one, terrible start. I had to come through the pack, and so pumped for my buddy Justin Bogle. He's doing so good, and it was cool. You know, we were out front. You know, it's just like the old days, so it was cool. And you know, I just couldn't do it without the whole team: Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Dunlop, Parts Unlimited, Scott, Vans, Volcom, the Dirt Sharks here, Larkin, my mom and dad. Big shout out to Tuo Vesmito for my nice truck. Everybody, this is just like the greatest year of my life, and thank you so much.
You can see the emotion. It's all kicked in all right now. Dean Wilson, the celebration is on.
Well, the motocross season is nearly a wrap, but plenty of great racing coming up on Speed. Of course, Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship kicks off January 7th at Anaheim. That's a live broadcast on Speed. You see the arrow, that's a lot of live television coming up. And don't forget the Monster Energy Cup. $1 million on the line in a one-night-only showdown in Vegas on October 15th. Dean Wilson, by the way, will race a 450 there. That should be fun to watch. Let's send it back down to Aaron.
Such an amazing season for Blake Baggett, but Blake, you've got the look of disappointment right now written all over your face. This isn't exactly how you wanted to go down at the end of the season, I take it?
No, definitely not. I had some highs of the season, I had some lows, and just haven't been able to get it done lately. But my team's been there: Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Vans, Volcom, Traxxas, SoCal Super Trucks, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, my trainer, Ellen Baker. Just everybody's been helping me, and just been struggling a little bit. So we'll try to hold it down for Team USA in France and see what we can do. I mean, just kind of ran out of time, and starts haven't been my greatest thing. But I'll go back and study the videos, and hopefully we can change that before we fly out to France Monday, so I don't got much time.
Best of luck. A hard charge all season long for Blake Baggett.
Here is the overall when we calculate both motos. Bogle had a 10th in moto number 1, so that drops him back to 5th when we combine them both. Look who's on a podium for the 2nd straight race. Marvin Musquion, good job.
Attacks.
All right, let's send it back down to Aaron.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but Marvin, this track suited your style ever since the moment you got here. How much fun were you having today, and what does it mean, 2 in a row, the icing on the cake for the season?
I had a lot of fun for sure. It's California, it's Polar Raceway. I used to ride training here, and the track was awesome. I had a lot of fun. So again, my bike was awesome, and my KTM, Red Bull, and my style was not really good today, but my speed was good. And my condition also good, so yeah, third overall again like last week, Steel City, so it's good. And thanks to Red Bull KTM team, they did a great job for me, and all my sponsors, Oakley, Aero, Lead Brace, Alpine Star. Thank you.
Congratulations on finishing off the season strong.
Let's show you the final season standings. You will not see Musquin in the top 10 because he missed a lot of races with injury. You have to wonder where he would have ended up if he were there all year. And Rattray, there you go, edges Baggett by just 3 points, and Tomac edges Cunningham by 3. Great racing throughout this very competitive 250 class. All right, can't wait till next year. Fuel your passion for motorcycle racing with Speed Motorcycle text alerts powered by Yamaha. Get the latest moto racing results and breaking news as soon as they become available, sent right to your phone. Text MOTO, MOTO, to Speed, then a number 3 for the alerts right now. Let's send it back down to Aaron.
What an impressive ride for Justin Vogel. Justin, rookie coming in, but you didn't ride like one today. Take us through the feeling of leading those first 10 laps.
It was awesome. I got a Jimmy D hole shot, got around him, and I just led for about 25 minutes. I got pretty nervous, I'll be honest. So saw Dino behind me, he was catching me. We went 1-2 though. It was fun throwing whips over the big jump, so it was cool.
It's a learning curve, but he is a quick learner.
All right, it's all smiles right now in this 250 class, but it is going to get real serious right after this. Our 450 final moto of the year, that championship yet to be decided. Ryan Dungey, Ryan Villapoto, one last showdown, Jeff.
Yeah, but for Dean Wilson, led the most laps, 11 wins out of 24 motos, 3 overalls out of 12. He's your new champ.
Yeah, he's going to be a tough customer. Meanwhile, the Ryans, one last race in the 450 class coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere. History is about to be made.